piece of equipment turned out to be slightly different. And unfortunately, the equipment we have currently, they don't sell anymore, so we're looking at actually rewiring that, and Joe doesn't even know this yet. We're actually looking at rewiring that whole laundry room to get that back up. The residents bought a Easter and community store a little while longer, probably a couple of weeks at this point. But we're going to see what we can do to get it up sooner. So if anyone's from Model East, that's the story going on there. When you go to the dining halls, everything should work just as it has in the past. In fact, you'll notice that the people who are serving you at the doors are a lot happier. That's because they now have printers that work. They push buttons and things actually react. The equipment we had, just so you know, was a lot of it dated back to 1994 when we first installed the system. I just wasn't sure how much longer that hardware would hold up. That's part of the reason for the change. You know, like I say, there are still some glitches here and there. A couple meal plans didn't switch properly. We do have some students that we investigate as they come in to make sure that everything's okay that way. But for the most part, we've come through it and we're on the downside now. And within a week or so, it'll be as if nothing had happened. Any questions on the change? Yes, Chris?
When we went to the new system, was there an increased cost for outside vendors to participate in the Rocket Card program?
Well, let me put it this way. There's a different cost. Our percentage is 10% prior to this. And what we did is they actually would be 9% of the new system plus a transaction fee. So it is potential, I guess, that someone could pay more. But the idea of lowering the percentage was to make it even out.
Do you think that's why they're not doing it? It's because it's
No,
different?
I'm not. Some things have come to light to me recently that I'm not sure communication was as good as it could have been. So that's why I'm trying to get to it now. Unfortunately, these other little problems. Something else that had happened that might as well let you all know is one of our key staff members also took a better position, or I should say a better position, took a different position outside the university. Well, time will tell whether it was better for him. I think it was good for him. Unfortunately, it occurred. He was our tech, and it occurred right now. So by default, I'm doing a lot of the tech work, and only he would, as IT, still advise people who will be doing that in the future. So I haven't been able to get back to the merchants as I really need to get them back up and running.
Do you know, are you aware the vending machines aren't working either? I didn't know you knew.
Just met with Mark and Gladio today, and I showed them how to get those back up and going. The ones here in the Union, I don't know why they aren't working. The ones at North Engineering were back up last I checked. Rocket Hall, of course, is back up, and we're checking in the residence halls as well.
Wolf Hall's not, that's right.
Which one?
Wolf Hall?
Wolf Hall? Okay.
That's where I use it.
In fact, that really is on, it's like a carbon punching a couple of years, which that was one of the things Corey and they would have done for us. Now it's a matter of me or somebody else actually just walking around getting it done.
Right.
We haven't really had too much trouble with vending. I had reason to slow down some of that, but make sure the programming is correct with the pricing.
Have you been able to talk to the black and white taxi company anymore about negotiating a lower price for them to accept the Rocket Card so that we can have?
Because of this changeover, I have not gotten back to black and white.
Okay.
I will be honest and hesitate about changing the structure for any one company, but frankly, the others will say, well, why not for us as well? We don't have valid reasons of why we should do that. So I know it's a big project for you. I've been in contact with my principal, Larry Burns, as well. So I understand the importance of coming to something, but frankly, I'm concerned still even with the cost of the equipment because of having to go wireless and such. If it's even going to be if the costs are even going to be possible. So I know I have not.
Okay.
The short answer is no.
The Alcohol, Tobacco, and Other Drugs Committee also, I believe, voted to endorse that project
Sure.
as a safety initiative. So I think that it would probably be strategic for the university even to invest in money if it's
Understand.
not cost effective.
And then I was going to toss out that, of course, the best safety initiative is in the hands of the students themselves and being responsible for drinking and no underage drinking. But that's just my personal opinion.
That's in a utopia. This is the real world.
That's my personal opinion.
And 21-year-olds need rides home too.
21 years old.
Thank you, David. Are there other questions? And they don't have to be related to anything we discussed now. Open forum, open for comments, questions, concerns, clarifications, ideas. Rachel?
I had another question for David, but it had nothing to do with Rocket Cards at all. We had a lot of confusion at our cabinet meeting. Can you or can you not swipe friends into a dining hall if you have one?
If you have a block plan,
That is true.
You cannot?
You cannot. We changed that this year, we experimented with it last year, but in order to keep the cost down, we had to give up something, and that's what was given up. Because we had no price increase, if you recall, this year, and part of that was how do we keep the cost down. And that was in, it's in all the information, and I'm sorry there's still confusion about it. You cannot, now what I don't know, you know, but that's the rule. So that's for me. Am I gonna say there's equal enforcement everywhere? I'm not watching the checks every day.
Is there any way we can work with that? Because that's been probably the single biggest complaint we've gotten from students.
Well, and again, it really comes down to money. I mean, I'll be honest, the program as it stands is underfunded. We are in the hole. And the more meals that are served, frankly, the farther that can go that way. If you look at other schools and see what they're offering, I think you'll find that the guest meal program as we were doing it is unusual. And generally, if it's done at a higher, much higher price. So I mean, we can look at that, and I will point out, we're doing something called market match right now with Airmark. It's a service that was included in our original contract, and we are looking at, they've done ASF surveys, in fact, we have excellent participation on that, well over the target range. We did some web surveys, things like that. I'll be getting the first report from them next week. And part of what we're looking at is, do we have the right meal plan? Do we have the right locations? Do we have the right retail menus and things like that? So with that going on, I'm kind of hesitant to do anything else at this point until we see the results of that study. If they come back and say we're right on target, you know, then that's what it is. But my guess is they're going to come back with some changes, and maybe even changes we haven't even thought of. Because one of the nice things of partnering with a company like Airmark with literally a global reach, is they've got a lot more knowledge about what's going on in the rest of the world than here. And I really think this will be a valuable tool for us.
I know Aeromark, when I did my market match with them, and we talked about this a little bit, they said that they, at a lot of schools, offer guest swipes. So like, I have a block 80, so let's say
That's what we try.
10% of mine can be used as guest swipes. So maybe we can look into that
But
again or
again,
something.
look at, find out what the schools are and tell me what the price is of the meal plan. Because you gotta remember, what you see on the surface isn't the full calculation of how that's arrived. There are very few schools out there that calculate anything at 100%. They presume you're gonna miss some meals. We presume, to be fair, on the 80 meal plan, the 30 and the 10, those are priced at 100%. But that is presumed because, frankly, it's that few meals, and we also have the option for those students, not even an option, we carry those missed meals over to the next semester. So if they have an 80 meal plan, for example, almost 40 meals this semester, we will actually say, hey, don't sign up for another meal plan, just use up what you have here.
But wouldn't you want them to use guest, like, wouldn't it be, like, if I could swipe my friends in, I would buy another meal plan next semester. I'm not gonna buy one now. So how are we making more money on it?
There's an expense side. And the labor side as well.
But if they're being charged at 100% and they're calculated at 100%, how can we justify not letting them use them 100%? If that's what the price is being calculated. I get it for the 19 because you're not gonna use them all, but how can we justify if they're actually being priced at 100% that they're not being encouraged or allowed to use it at 100%? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, we're encouraging the individual to use it. Part of it, as you look through all the things, the other side is, you know, how can I ask a person, even at the check-in counter, distinguish between this meal plan versus this meal
Because when
plan?
you're swiping, you can see.
You see both meal plan taken off. They all look the same to the checker. But that's a small part of the reason. The other part is like I said, we do encourage them to use 100% for the individual as well.
Something we could do if we did decide to do the guest swipes to decide between the meal plans, like for residence halls, I had like a Parks Tower sticker my freshman year, so I could have like a block 80 sticker.
Like I said, I really